Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of UFit TV. Today we were recording episode 12. It's already been 12 crazy episodes. I've got Chris Walker with me here today. We are actually going to be discussing a new recovery technique that he got certified in and how it can help your body function better, feel better, and basically get pain-free. I'm really excited to talk to you guys about this today. And actually we have somebody who's going to let us kind of scrape on them a little bit so you can kind of see how it works. And so we'll go from there. So first, the name of the technique is Sound Assisted Soft Tissue Mobilization, or SASTM as an acronym. And I know there's so many great benefits to this technique, but I really want to start, Chris, by you telling us a little bit more about the major benefits. I want to talk about how it works, and then obviously we'll go see how it's done. So, kind of explain to us what the benefits are.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited to talk to you guys about this because I've seen it benefit a lot of clients already. They've had pain ranging from their feet all the way up to their hands. This technique can be used in a lot of different ways. The benefits are going to be that it improves your range of motion, your flexibility, and then recovery time. So those three together will decrease any pain that you're having and obviously make you feel and move better.
Okay, so it sounds kind of like it's similar to massage, but explain to us how it might be different from massage or different from some other type of recovery method.
So it's a little bit different. So it's the same in the sense that it breaks down tissue and helps release any scar tissue that's holding any joint or anything. Like, think of it as like being tight. So when you get a massage, it relaxes those tissues, allows your muscles to relax, and you feel better. Well, the difference is these tools or instruments can be used to get a lot deeper into the tissue, and that allows the recovery and everything to happen faster and makes it more permanent, where a massage is only temporary because it's only that superficial part of the tissue.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I know I've had it done once or twice, and it's actually really cool. And I know there's probably some sciencey stuff behind it or whatever. Do you want to talk about that at all? Do you want to explain how the process actually works? Why it does certain things?
You guys might not care so much about the science behind it, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. So the idea behind it and the reason it really works better than massage or any other of those techniques is the fact that it causes, because we can get so deep into the tissue, that it causes micro trauma to the affected tissue. So the idea of it being sound assisted, so when I'm doing the scraping, or when anyone else, any clinician is doing the scraping, if you ever had it done before, you can feel, if you think of it like going over rocks, you feel the tissue being really rough. So that's tissue that's been damaged. When that tissue is damaged, and I take those tools and scrape over it to get those fibers to break up, that will allow a cascade of healing effects. So it causes an inflammatory response. So think of it as you get a cut, and all of a sudden it gets real red, it swells, and it heals. Same concept, only on a deeper level. So from there, once that inflammatory response kicks in, then the tissue can start repairing and healing like it's supposed to. So adhesions will form, which you guys will see later when I'm performing on someone. You'll see the adhesions form, and they'll get real red, it will swell, and that's causing that inflammatory response.
Right.
And those adhesions come from, let's say you've had a surgery. Let's say you've had a strain or a sprain or something, or any kind of immobilization, or you haven't been able to move your shoulder very well, for example. When I break up that tissue, those adhesions form.
Okay. So, I've kind of heard that, or not heard, but we know, obviously, that icing and heating kind of also help with recovery. Can you explain the difference in between just doing something simple like that versus a more advanced technique like this, and what the level of difference is in the recovery process, meaning how much faster will you recover, and how much better will you feel overall?
So, and that's actually a really great point, because obviously icing is very accessible to everybody, and same thing with heating. So in this instance, any kind of soft tissue injury is typically going to cause an inflammatory response.
Okay.
So heat doesn't typically do very well with any kind of inflammatory response. So you always will do ice in any acute type of injury.
All right.
So ice works well because it causes your blood vessels to restrict and allows the inflammation to cool down or become smaller. So in the sense of the science behind it, it's the same.
Okay.
The difference is the tools or the instruments allow you to get on a deeper level, meaning you can cause a more permanent solution and it happens a lot quicker. So icing, it's going to take you anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks of constant icing of an acute injury to make it more permanent. And the icing only allows the inflammatory response and the pain to go away, but it doesn't make it a permanent. So all that happens is your tissues essentially try to heal as fast as they can in all kinds of different directions.
Right.
The tools, because of the direction of that I'm working or scraping, allows the tissue to heal the way it's supposed to and in the direction that it should heal.
Okay.
In a sense, it makes it more of a permanent option.
Awesome. And before we go out and have us show you, Davin said he was going to let you work on it a little bit today to show the viewers how it actually works. But before we go out and do that, can you give an idea of, so, you know, when you're working on somebody like this, how long is a session usually? Like, how long do you need to do the soft tissue mobilization in order for it to actually be beneficial?
So typically it's going to obviously depend on the area and how big of the area it is. Typically I always say it's going to take at least 2 or 3 sessions to be able to see the real benefits. Some people notice it instantly. So for example, if it's an immobilization injury, you can see the difference immediately, but to make it more permanent, it's going to take a few times to make it permanent.
Okay.
It will normally take about 24 to 72 hours of healing time before you notice everything goes back to normal in the sense of how it looks, because when that redness comes up, it's going to be real red and almost look bruised. So it takes time for that to go away, but normally 2 or 3 sessions.
Okay, awesome. And about how far should those sessions be spaced apart?
Initially, it's all again, it depends on the area. Initially, just because, you know, from a pain standpoint or how it feels, I normally say 72 hours. You could do it within 48 hours. So let's say it's a bigger injury. I could work on one section of the body one day and then work on another section another day and it'd still be okay. It's just, it's the same concept as a massage though. It's going to release toxins. So you definitely want to make sure you stay hydrated. So it's one of those things you wouldn't get a massage every single day because you're going to have too much toxins going through your body and you're going to feel really drained. So I normally say 48 to 72 hours. Okay,
cool. Well, let's go out there, grab Davin, get you all set up, and then let's show these viewers what it actually looks like to have it done.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Okay, so Davin has volunteered to allow Chris to show us the sound-assisted soft tissue mobilization on him today. Chris, if you want to go ahead and get started so the viewers can see what's going on here, that'd be great.
Yeah. How's it going, guys? So, as Michael said, Davin's going to volunteer here. So, with these tools, as I already mentioned, we're really going to break up any tissue that's damaged. So, today I'm going to use Davin's tricep as an example. So this can be used on anything like an acute injury, any overuse, strains, sprains, or any kind of tendinitis. So in Davin's case, because of all the lifting, it's very easy to develop some type of tendinitis, or people know it as tennis elbow. So he probably has a lot of scar tissue in the elbow and around that joint. So that's what we're going to work on today. So we always use some type of butter, whether that be cocoa butter, or in this case we're going to use tummy butter, and that's just so the skin doesn't get irritated. So the way these tools work, as I mentioned, so it's sound assisted. So what that means is as I'm scraping his arm and going down, I can feel, if you think of like going over a gravelly road, that's kind of what it feels like to me when I hit that tissue that's damaged. So as I'm going down his arm, right through here, he's gonna get some kind of that grainy feeling. Now tissues run in a lot of different directions. Now just because I've done this before, I know in the tricep it's gonna be a downward motion. But if I haven't worked with you before, I normally go in different directions. But I've done this before, Davin, and I know the downward motion is where his tissue's gonna get broken up the best. So as you can see, it's gonna slowly start turning red. So what this is adhesions forming that I talked about. So that's just blood rushing to the surface and causing the inflammation or inflammatory response to allow it to start rehealing. So as you can see, you know, it's a little different than a massage, so I'm using instruments, but I can get a lot deeper.
Now, does this hurt at all, Chris? Is this painful?
It does if you have some tissue that's really damaged. Again, I put the amount of pressure that you can tolerate, so if it's too much, then I just ease off. The more pressure I put on, the faster you're going to get results and you're going to heal. So I'm going to get Davin's arm really flared up red here. So you should start to see, we're going to get a couple more strokes in. So you can see these little eutychiae right here. I don't know if you can see those in the camera or not, but those are those adhesions that are forming. So that's tissue that's been damaged or scar tissue that we're breaking up to allow to reheal.
How long does it take for it to recover?
Usually, think of it like a massage. Usually you want about 72 hours. So when the tissue is broken up, it releases toxins. So you want to make sure you drink plenty of fluid. And then it's just like anything else. You're just recovering, so I'd give it at least 48 to 72 hours. It's normal to see some bruising. So there's a difference between a bruise when you hit something and you bruise, and then this bruising. This bruising that will come to play here is just that rehealing process. So it's not painful at all. It's not like if I were to touch it, that's pain. It's just gonna bruise because of where the blood rushed to the skin so quickly, but it's not painful afterward. It's only painful during it or while I'm performing the scraping.
And then how long until the redness goes away?
Usually about 24 hours.
Okay.
And then
Awesome.
you'll see that bruising a little bit afterward for the next 2 days or next 24 to 48 hours.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Davin. We appreciate your time. Thanks for helping out.
Okay guys, so I hope that you enjoyed that session with Chris and Davin and being able to see how that whole process works. Like I said, it's really interesting. It really does work well. I've had it done myself, but before we wrap things up, Chris, do you have anything else?
No, that pretty much covers it. If you guys have any questions, you can always send us an email at info@ufitindie.com. But no, other than that, we pretty much covered it.
Okay, cool. And the last thing that I want to let you know is that we are going to give away 2 free sessions to this new technique, so you can come in and try it out to the first 2 people who email us at that email. It's info@ufitindie.com, UFITINDINDY.com. We'll look forward to seeing you next week for episode 13. Have a great week.
See you guys.